What's up, you guys? It's Shibani back with another video reaction, and today we'll be doing a special one. You already read it in the um title. We're gonna be doing "Red" by Taylor Swift. Now, I've never actually listened to a full Taylor Swift album, and I'm really curious to see like what really the hype is about. There's like a decent amount of female group mates who are really, big fans of her. And of course, like there are lots of Swifties on the internet. I've seen like lots of, discussion in the like Stan Twitter, whatever you want to call it, talking about Taylor Swift. And like I know the big hits from her, which I heard on the radio as a kid, but I never actually listened to any of her full albums. And I'm curious to see what you guys like, just to see what the hype is about. And you know how this videos goes. I have like pretty high expectations for this album, and I'm feeling like it's gonna be like a very accessible, pretty like cool little pop album, which it will be fun listening to. Hopefully, it will be fun listening to. But still, in preparation, I want to listen to something I like and to kind of get into this mood of music listening. And for today, as like the great track, I've chosen one of my favorite songs of all time, actually, "Carry the Zero" by Bill to Spill. We're just gonna listen to this quickly and we'll start with the reaction. Yeah, wow, this is like truly incredible. It sounds great. The lyrical themes are great. Talking about like, from what I understand, about loss of one's identity, comparing it to like broken pieces, trying to collect them, trying to count them, trying to like piece the person back together, but unable to do this because they're just the way things are. And like talking about how the pieces didn't add up, forgetting to carry the zero, which doesn't even make sense because you don't usually carry the zero in math, but it's like a really like kind of fun twist to the track. Also, yeah, I forgot to address some things. I mean, before we start the album, as you can see, I got my hair cut, and some people may say that I kind of lost my swag, but I think I still got it. I think I still look cool. I think I still look great. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, I kind of had to change where I live for now. I'm working right now, so I'm living in a dormitory, somewhere like else, not at home. But it's like nothing too bad. I'm still going to be doing this here. So yeah, without further ado, let's start "Red" by Taylor Swift. Um, Track one is "State of Grace." Let's start. Okay, well, this is actually a really solid start to the album. We had like a very, rock-inspired instrumentation with a very prominent electric guitar, with a very prominent, like, I don't know if these are actually live drums, but they sound like they are. And lyric-wise, she just talks about, some love interest of hers, talking about like the goods and the bads of, feelings and love. And it don't feel so real. There's nothing really like super spectacular about the lyrics here, but there is nothing really cringy. I really like this line. Where is it? Love is a ruthless game unless you play it good and right, which is which is true. Actually, like a very um, good piece of like poetry. And like I don't know if she the one who wrote all this. Let me quickly check this. Um, Written by Taylor Swift. Good for her. You know, I don't really know anything about her writing abilities. I don't really know much about her singing abilities, but so far, I'm pretty, hyped to check out the whole album because the intro track is actually pretty good. I will give it like a, I don't know, 7 plus. Let's continue with track number 2. Just a second, which is, it is the title track, Red.
Loving him is like driving a new Maserati down a dead-end street. Faster than the wind, passionate as sin, ending so suddenly. Losing him was blue like I never known. Missing him was dark gray all alone. Forgetting him is like trying to know somebody you never met. Loving him was red and burning red. Loving him was red. Oh, losing him was blue.
Okay, and that was Red. Now, it's again like it's pretty cool, it has like the same rock inspired instrumentation with a bit of like country flair. I know that Taylor Swift started her career, I guess like doing, country inspired music and kind of, shows here. Lyric wise, I think like this thing of, comparing different feelings to colors is pretty cool. And I kind of wish that this track did more of this because it's just like this in the chorus, missing him was dark gray, losing him was blue, but loving him was red. I kind of wish, it did more of that. And the different kinds of similes in the verses, talking about, like I really like the very first one. Loving him was like driving a new Maserati down a dead end street, which I think is again like a very interesting line. There is like a lot to think about, and like it's explained in the next line, like what she means by that. And I know like some similes that don't go over that well. Like what was it? Finding him was like trying to solve the crossword and realizing there's no right answer. It's I wouldn't try to call this like the greatest symbol ever. But it's again like it's pretty cute, you know. It's like the same, losing someone. I mean, like not the same, but just like talking about losing someone this way is pretty cute. It's respectable. And yes, again, let me check something. Written by Taylor Swift. Good for her. Wow, she's well, I wouldn't call like the greatest, but she's a pretty good songwriter. Okay, now let's do track number 3, which is Treacherous.
This slow breeze, treacherous. This path is reckless. This slow breeze, treacherous. And I like it.
Now that was Treacherous by Taylor Swift. It's again like another, you know, simple catchy track. Can say it's again like leaning more to the country influences with like a very big, gigantic bridge. From like I guess at least from what I understand from like I read just now on Genius. Um, I mean it's obviously like a metaphor for some like toxic relationship, not necessarily toxic, but just kind of relationship which might be, not very comfortable for Taylor. But she still like gets the thrill. She still like enjoy climbing this treacherous slope. And from what I read, like she dated Harry Styles. What the heck? I mean, sure. And like um, Genius says that this track might be, about Harry Styles. Who it's kind of like she dated throughout this time, which is cool, I guess. It's again like in a way, there's nothing specifically spectacular about this kind of lyricism. I feel like it's very easy. I like how it's like very easy listening. It's very like easy to catch up for what like she's trying to say, and like all of the metaphors, all of the imagery that she's painting. It's very easy to paint in your head. Very easy to follow along, which is great for a pop song and a pop album. Now we have the big hit. I Knew You Were Trouble, which I'm sure I heard like on the radio back then, like as a kid. But we will see.
Once upon a
Oh
time,
yeah,
no mistakes
I
apart.
totally heard this.
I was in your sights. You got me alone. You found me. You
Yeah,
found me. You found me. 'Cause I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now. Blew me to places I've never been. Till you put me down. Oh, I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now. Blew me to places I've never been. Now I'm lying on the cold hard ground.
ah, ah, trouble, trouble, trouble. Yeah.
And the saddest fear comes creeping in, that you never loved me or her or anyone or anything. Yeah. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now. Blew me to places I've never been. Till you put me down. Oh, I knew.
Now, okay, I have some things to say about this track. I was reminded of it quite recently. For the longest time, I didn't really know that the name Taylor Swift was attached to this track. Back when I heard this on the radio, I didn't really know who it was. I knew of Taylor Swift, but I couldn't really like name any of the tracks. And for the longest time, I thought it was like I don't know, Sia or some, I don't know. It's weird to think now. And I'll be completely honest, like, I guess I'm like singing along, vibing to the track. But like mostly it's because of, nostalgia. When you look at the track like face value, I don't really think it has aged quite too well. Like especially so far, it has like three tracks, you know, being uh, heavily influenced by country, heavily influenced by country rock music, and here we have like this big pop banger with like I don't know, like an EDM drop with like pitch shifts and effects in the chorus. This is just like the most 2012 pop track I can ever think of. Like stuff like this is really reminiscent of that time, and it's stuck in this time. You don't really hear like stuff like this these days, which I think is I think is a good thing. But I'll say this, like eh, it's cool. Yet again, like it's something vibing along. And lyric wise, yet again, like it's a like easy to understand what it's talking about, talking about life of a troubled person. In the verses there are like lots of, different kinds of metaphors and some paint speeches about that, yeah, which are yet again like very easy to understand. And like the structure, I mean, the uh, like these parts when she like repeats in the last line of the line, without me, like these parts in the verse is very catchy. The chorus, it's very simple, it's very catchy, like the flow. I mean, the post chorus, is very simple, very catchy, and the flow of chorus is very like easy to get into, like very danceable. It has like the makings of a good pop track from, that time from 2012. It's again like this. It feels weird. I don't necessarily think it fits quite so well in the album, especially like comparing it to the past three tracks. But I'm still vibing. I'd give it like, I don't know, like a six or something. Well, actually, like for this track, there is actually like some other artists other than Taylor Swift, which kind of feels like it's. I guess like they were going for a more um, sterile feel, so it would be like a big, pop banger. Because yet again, like unlike let's say like Creative Treacherous, the stuff that she's talking about, like it's easier to understand, but it's not like too much, depth to it. There's like not too much, drama or feeling. But like there is like there is enough for me to enjoy. And let's just continue on with the next track, which is All Too Well. Okay, we're back to the country inspired sounds.
Oh, your sweet disposition and my wide-eyed gaze. We're singing in the car, getting lost upstate. Here we are again in the middle of the night. We'll dance around the kitchen in the refrigerator, lie down the stairs. I was there, I remember it all too well. But you keep my old scarf from that very first week, 'cause it reminds you of innocence and it smells like me. You can't get rid of it, 'cause you remember it all too well. Yeah. 'Cause there
Okay, wow, this actually, was some great stuff. Um, it feels like a very overdramatic breakup track with, a lot of phases to it. I guess like the running theme is, change, change of perspective on the relationship. First of all, she's talking about all of the innocent parts of such relationship, and then she's talking about like it's in the more, not necessarily negative, but it's like describes all of the more, you know, negative parts of relationship by the end, talking about the breakup. Um, there's like a moment that, crashed everything around her. I really like it's like Ryan little like theme, talking about like how she, left her scarf on like one of the very first dates and how it comes back in verse 4, talking about how Gilala can't get rid of it because he's also, trying to hold on to the innocent times, of the relationship. Also, like I really like this simile, how she's comparing herself to a crumpled piece of paper. There's like something very poetic about it. And the instrumentation working really well for a track like this. Really like enhances it. Really gives like very like theatrical or dramatic feeling, which I think really works here. And like it says here, Wilder regards it one of Swift's best songs. I mean, I guess it is. Like I haven't heard so much Taylor Swift yet, but so far it is like by far my favorite track of this album. Well, also good stuff. I will give it like I don't know, consider give it like an 8 minus. This is actually like some very interesting introspective fans. In a way, like relatable stuff. And it's again like a lot of people can relate to something like this. It's again like reminiscent times of innocent love and feeling really like heartbroken as if the whole world's like ends after the break after the breakup. But it's cool. Now let's continue to track number 6, which is 22.
It feels like a perfect night to dress up like hipsters and make fun of our exes. It feels like oh, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Everything will be alright if you keep me next to you, dancing like we're 22. 22. I don't know about you, 22. You look like bad news. I gotta have you. I gotta have you.
Well, that was 22. I guess it's cool that she changes things up. Uh, it's kind of like doesn't really follow the same themes as the previous track. Doesn't really talk about any kinds of breakups, any kinds of past relationships. In a way, it gives a different perspective to this kind of thing, talking about just kind of having fun. I guess drink and dance all of the relationship problems away, which is eh, cool, I guess. But just like lyric wise and just sentiment wise, it feels cringy. And instrumental wise, we're kind of back to the same, electropop sounds which was present on I Knew You Were Trouble, but it's really isn't as catchy, and it feels like really dated. Even for 2012, this feels really dated. This kind of musical style is more reminiscent of electropop tracks of the second half of 2000s. Well, I mean, it was fun, sure, but I couldn't really say that I really enjoyed that. It's probably one of the lowest moments on the album so far for me. But it is what it is. Track number 7, I Almost Do.
And I just wanna tell you, it takes everything in me not to call you. And I wish I could run to you, and I hope you know that every time I don't, I almost do. I almost do. Be quite a mess, babe. It's probably better off this way. And I confess, babe, in my dreams you're touching my face, and I
Well, that was I Almost Do. I honestly don't really have much to say about this track. It kind of just continues the same themes. It's kind of reminiscing about past relationship, which is, to be honest, I kind of have a bad feeling for this whole album, which it's just gonna continue running through the same themes of breakups and ex someone's reminiscing about them. But in this track, it doesn't really feel like they were any really interesting like similes, interesting, pictures being painted, talking about this past relationship. It was like very, on the nose, very kind of, I don't know, not really like super special. Like if we come back to, rats and treacherous, there are like different kinds of metaphors and symbols where actually, interesting to follow along, like here. And I really hope that, it will pick up by the end, because I mean, there's the track of Ed Sheeran. Oh, I'm just hoping that, something like interesting will happen, because otherwise I'll just have to, skip through this entire feed without it talking much. But, the next track, another big hit, which I think I heard before. We are never getting back together. I guess it's like it's how it goes. We're never getting back together. Another big hit, track number 8. Let's continue.
I remember when we broke up the first time, saying this is it, I've had enough. Cause like we hadn't seen each other in a month. When you said you needed space. What? Then you come around again. This time I'm telling you, we are never, ever, ever getting back together. We
Oh yeah, I know this. I don't know this.
getting back together. You go talk to your friends, talk to my friends, talk to me. But we are never, ever, ever, ever getting back together. Right? And you would hide away and find your peace of mind with some indie record that's much cooler than mine. Together.
Yeah, honestly, it's not the track I was thinking about, but I still like, I remember hearing it. It was like some other track with, kind of a similar chorus, but like a different delivery. But still, like this track, honestly, I wasn't really a big fan of. Like the premise, you know, is kind of weird. Just kind of her being like a bit, toxic, kind of like rejecting, someone, an ex-lover, but like in a very, I don't know, in a very immature way. And these parts when you can hear like her just talking like a little kinds of like lower register of her voice. I kind of really cringy. And yet again, like for this, big track, we have another instance of having like this very like electropop, disco pop inspired instrumentation. I would much rather prefer like the whole album being, you know, kind of like having this rock, kind of like country rock sound, because it's again like the same case as I Knew You Were Trouble, where like we have like this is again like as I said, electropop production, which really feels like it was made in 2012, which makes it age not as well as tracks that have like bits of a more timeless timeless feel to them. Also gonna start giving scars to individual tracks, but I'll just kind of share my thoughts in the end about my least favorite tracks and all that kind of stuff. Like this is like kind of a solid example of a 5. I mean, fundamentally it's cool, and I do have some nostalgia for it, but looking back, it's not necessarily the best track here. Now, track number 9, Stay, Stay, Stay. On top of the roof. On top of the roof. Yeah, sorry for stopping, but this really reminds me of on top of the world by Imagine Dragons, which we listened the other day. Just kind of the same royalty-free guitar sounds, which I don't really like already.
I'm pretty sure we almost broke up last night. Asked for you, I'd only dated self-indulgent takers who took all of their problems out on me. But you carry my groceries and now I'm always laughing. I love you because you have given me no choice but to stay, stay, stay. So I think that it's best if we both stay, 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 stay. I've been loving you for quite some time, time. You think that it's funny when I'm mad, mad, mad. But I think that it's best if we both stay, 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 stay. That's so fun.
Okay, we have another track which kind of switches up the themes. It's not really like about any breakups, not really about any ex-lovers. It's kind of like about a very cute, a very like feel good, in a way like really childish and immature track about like a current relationship. And it's kind of like in contrast to tracks like 22 and We're Never Getting Back Together. We get some like this, country inspired instrumentation and like kind of country feel. I don't necessarily think it really comes over well on this track. Like as I pointed out at the very beginning, like right immediately it's reminded me of the same like I don't know like really cringy royalty free guitar sounds which were present on on top of the world by fucking Imagine Dragons. Uh, but it fits like on the album. I can understand why it's here. Okay, next track, The Last Time.
This is the last time I'm asking you this. Put my name at the top of your list. And yourself at my door, just like all those times before. You wear your best apology, but I was there to watch you leave. And all
Oh wow, guitar solo.
This is the last time I won't hurt you anymore. This is the last time I'm asking you this. Last time I'm asking you, last time I'm asking you this.
Well, this track also kind of switches things up in a way that, we have like some guest vocals from, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but, kind of like an attempt to duet. It kind of follows the same themes of We're Never Ever Getting Back Together, in a sense, like, we have like the breakup really like, unfolding before our eyes. Um, kind of like the moment of, a relationship ending. And see, we're never ever getting back together was kind of, cringy, talking about in a mocking way. This, tries to go for like a more serious and like dramatic tone. But I'll be honest, it's really like didn't really do much for me. However, like this guest vocal, the guest, appearance on this track is his vocals are very like boring, doesn't really bring much to the track. And it's again like I'll be completely honest, I'm kind of starting to get bored with this album. Nothing really like hits. Yet again, like if we look at the same, like All Too Well has done the same, over dramatic, serious, like breakup story much better, because I think like the lyrical, like little moments, the pictures being painted, like different kinds of, poetic, like tricks used in writing All Too Well were much more interesting than whatever's going on the last time, because I mean there's like really isn't like much to dig there. Like it's very on the nose, very very easy to understand what they're talking about. It's kind of whatever. And like sound wise, it kind of feels flat, unlike, All Too Well. Just, I don't know, nothing much really to talk about. And I kind of scared that like this round of tracks with, low amounts of streams would just kind of be like the same forgettable, you know, stuff, which I don't know how to really feel about, but we'll see. We'll see. Now, track 11, Holy Ground. Yeah, kinda, I already can tell that's gonna be like similar to the other stuff.
Never looking down, and right there where we stood was holy ground. Tonight I'm gonna dance for all that we've been through, but I don't wanna dance if I'm not dancing with you. Tonight I'm gonna dance like you were in this room, but I don't wanna dance if I'm not dancing with you. If I'm not dancing with you.
Well, just kind of, the same stuff, just reminiscing about, past, like, I guess, more innocent relationships. I like this, similarly um, comparing like the time of, being like in this relationship as standing on hollow ground. And we had like a little kind of disco feel incorporated in the track. You hear like little synths in the background, which kind of, enhanced it in a way. But nothing else really to say. Let's just, continue because it's been taking a lot of time like filming this. How much is it? It's been 1.5 hours already listening to a Taylor Swift album. Wow. Okay. Sad, beautiful, tragic. The least streamed song on the album. I'm kind of scared.
We had a beautiful magic love there.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this one. It makes sense why it is the least streamed song. It's really like kinda, I don't know, underwhelming, kinda boring in a way. Nothing really grabs me. Instrumental wise, nothing really grabs me. Lyric wise, tries going for this like folk country feeling. And it kind of picks up by the end with like some additional strings. But for the most part, this acoustic sound really just kind of bores me. I really want to get over with this. Oh, track number 13, the lucky one.
New to town with a made-up name in the angel city, chasing fortune and fame, and the camera flashes make it look like a dream, like diamonds in the sky. And they'll tell you now
Wow, a
you're the
reference to
lucky
the random track
one.
all of a sudden.
Yeah, they'll tell you now you're the lucky one. But can you tell me now you're the lucky one? Oh, oh, oh. They say you bought a bunch of land somewhere, chose the rose garden over Madison Square, and it took some time, but I understand it now. 'Cause now my name is up in lights, but I think you got it right. Let me tell you now you're the lucky one. Let me tell you now you're the lucky one. Let me tell you now you're the lucky one. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, they'll tell you now you're the lucky one. Yeah, they'll tell you now you're the lucky one. Let me tell you now you're the lucky one. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh,
Well, this one was, from what I understand, talking about like kind of how fame changes like her perspective on relationships. Talking about how she's like some kind of lucky ones, and I mean it's hard really for me to like really relate to this track, and it was like it hasn't really dug into this honestly like conceptually very interesting theme too deep, but eh, just like another alright track. Not really mind it, but nothing necessarily too special. Now the next track, everything has changed with, well, Ed Sheeran. Oh my god. Yeah, sure. What's up?
We good to go?
all I knew this morning when I woke is I know something now I didn't before.
Our walls stood tall, painted blue, but I'll take 'em down, and open up the door for you.
And all I feel in my stomach is butterflies, the beauty of you. It's all I know is we said hello, and your eyes look like coming home. All I know is a simple name, and everything has changed. All I know is you held, I know since yesterday, is everything has changed.
Yeah, I'll be honest, like I feel like the only reason why this track is, somewhat popular is because it has Ed Sheeran on it. And Ed Sheeran is a boring fucking vocalist. I can't really like it's not like I can't really stand him, but I don't know. Just he really brought nothing to this track, and overall like the track was really honestly boring. Like, yes, again, like there's nothing instrumental that grabs my attention. Nothing lyric-wise that grabs my attention. Just another passable cut, which yes, again, like it's kind of what I was scared for. That this album is feels like very front-loaded because yes, again, like State of Grace, Red, Treacherous, All Too Well, really great tracks. I really like great tracks that play off the same formula, which all most of the tracks in the album do. But for some reason, like there is no anything like punchy. There is no like anything really like attention grabbing here. It just feels very boring, extremely fucking boring. Like, yeah, I'm not a big fan, honestly. Like at least 22. I said like it is my least favorite track like on the album. It's probably like I will put this like as my least favorite track. But at least like there was some ironic enjoyments in it. It felt, at least lively. It was cringe, it was really cringy, but it was, it felt alive. This though, this is just boring. Um, Track 15, Starlight.
I said, oh my, what a marvelous tune. It was the best night, never would forget how we moved. The whole place was just to the nines, and we were dancing, dancing, like we're made of starlight. To be a duchess and a prince. And I said, oh my, what a marvelous tune. It was the best night, never would forget how we moved. The whole place was just to the nines, and we were dancing, dancing, like we're made of starlight, starlight, like we're made of starlight, starlight. Ooh, dancing with me, ooh, ooh, we could get married, have 10 kids, and teach them how to dream. Oh my, what a marvelous tune. It was
Okay, now I've read like the Genius page in this track, and it says how this track is not necessarily like about any relationship really relating to Taylor Swift. It's like about the relationship of, once again, Ethel and Bobby Kennedy, which is, I don't know, like, I guess like it's interesting to see. It talks about how like she saw a picture of them when they were young, and she got inspired to write this, which is a cool little story, I guess. And like sound wise, it comes back to like the same electropop sounds, which I was shitting on back when I've listened to like Trouble and 22. But honestly, like after all this like really boring country rock pop inspired tracks, this feels like a breath of fresh air. But I wouldn't necessarily call this like a really great example of this kind of presentation of sound. It feels very kind of stale, and it's again like just like all the other has not really aged necessarily well. At least like I knew where Trouble was like going all the way. Just it's like this electropop sound and just being insanely catchy. This just kind of better than what was going on like for the past three tracks, but still alright. And now we're finally on the very last track, Begin Again.
took a deep breath in the mirror. You didn't like it when I wore high heels, but I do. Last 8 months, thinking all love ever does is break and burn and end. But on a Wednesday in a cafe. I watched it begin again. And we walked down the block to my car, and I almost brought him up, but you start to talk about the movies that your family watches every single Christmas, and I want to talk about that for the first time. What's past is past.
Okay, and this was the last track, Begin Again, which was a decent closer. Don't necessarily feel too strong about this one, like as strong as, the intro. But still, like, it was pretty interesting. And it feels like the album really ends off on a more optimistic notes after all of the tracks talking about her breakups and all that. She talks about how, she saw the life begin again. It's just a very positive and healthy outlook on life. And it kind of, sums up the album well enough. And, it kind of like goes all the way into like the country sound. Even has like, I think it was like harmonica, maybe like I'm mistaken. But, it feels very folksy, very country-like. It's it's cool. It's really cool. Now, the album overall, I mean, it wasn't like necessarily bad, but it really felt, yet again, like a very mixed bag. If I were to give a score to this whole album, I would give it like a 6 minus. There were like tracks, especially like more leaning into country and country rock sounds, which went over really well, like especially at the very beginning, like um, this first free check round and Also Well are really great examples of like this um, pop country rock formula which Taylor Swift used, really working in her favor. Especially like when she really like tries to, write about some relationship theme in a very interesting way. It, comes off well because it really feels that by the end there wasn't like really any super strong and interesting like poetic, I guess, metaphors which she used on the tracks in the beginning. Another thing, like as I said, it feels like very this album feels very inconsistent sound-wise. There are tracks that really go into more electropop sounds, which was really prominent in 2012. I Knew You Were Trouble, We're Never Getting Back Together, 22, and it kind of funny looking like at these tracks being like the most streamed ones, and which tells me in a way, which on her next album, which I'm planning to do. I'm planning to do a listen on where is it, 1989. I'm kind of expecting this whole album to be like more, synthetic in sounds, more digging into like straightforward pop. Because I mean, Blank Space and Shake It Off on this album, and these are very like prominently synthetic sounding songs. But I guess that's it. Taylor Swift, Red. Hoping to do more Taylor Swift. Hoping that her other albums will be like a little more consistently entertaining. But this is still pretty cool. And from this album alone, I can tell why people vouch for Taylor Swift the way they do. And I'm excited to see what she has on her other works to really like get a bigger picture for why people really write for her the way they do. But that's pretty much it. I will stop with the rambling. Thanks for watching. See you. in the next one.